everybody, Dawn here. Welcome to my car vlog. I just made a stop and decided, you know, I have time to do another car vlog because I have a story time I want to share with y'all. I do. So when I was, it was 1985, so I was 14 years old. Yeah. So when I was 14 years old, I had this friend who, she was, I don't want to, Jesus Christ! Did you see that guy? Okay, anyway, I don't want to use this word to describe a 14-year-old girl, but when we were 14, this is what all the moms said about her, which I think in this day and age, when we look at a girl in this situation, that wouldn't be the opinion of moms now. But she was, let's just say, sexually active, but always with older men, okay, like adult men. And but I was friends with her, and she told me that she's been having sex since she was 10 years old, and she loves it, and men just go nuts over her and all this, right? And I didn't know about that type of thing what I know now, but I did know it wasn't right. Like, it felt wrong to me for her to be doing this. And also, I didn't know what to believe from her, but then again, she didn't really lie to me so about other things, so I had no reason to really think she was lying. But I had told my mom about it, and she said, you know, she called her a slut. And now looking back, I'm like, I told my mom, this girl told me she'd been having sex since she was 10 years old, and my mom's reaction was she was a slut. And I just think now, like, say Marshall came home at 14 years old from a friend's house and told me she told him that she's been having sex since she was 10 years old. I think that I would talk to somebody about that. I wouldn't go to the kid's parents, but I would definitely, I would have to get involved, I feel. Like, am I wrong about that? I just feel like there's something that needs to be discussed with some people who are in charge of helping kids, you know? But no, my mom's reaction was that she was a slut. And here's the thing. My mom had told her friends, you know, and their reaction was that she was a slut, right? Oh, she's just a little slut. I'm like, oh, yeah. And even that felt wrong to me when I was that age, but I didn't know why. So I wasn't allowed to hang out with her anymore. But one day, my mom, she was seeing this gentleman, and this friend, we'll call her Mary, she wanted me to come spend the night at her place, right? And I was like, I'll ask my mom, but she ain't gonna let me because she don't like this girl. So I asked my mom, can I go over there and spend the night? And she's like, you know, I don't like her. I don't want you hanging around with her. She's not a nice girl. And I'm like, yeah. But then my mom's, you know, gentleman friend said, I'll let her. It's just one night. It'll be fine. So she was like, it's okay. And I was still kind of I didn't like spending the night at people's houses. That'll be a story time for another day. Actually, it's a story I've told before. But there were no men living in her house, so I was okay with that. And so my mom was like, okay, well, one night is fine. So I went over there, you know, we just did the girl thing, and it's starting to get late. Like, I don't know, it's like Johnny Carson is coming on or something. So, because it was a Friday night, so it was like, God, there's a blast from class past Johnny Carson. So anyway, Johnny Carson was coming on, and then there's a knock on the door, and it's some boys, like, and not young boys either, like older boys. And I just kind of went to her room and went to bed, like laid down to go to bed, because I didn't want anything to do with them. And because I'm like, this is why I'm not supposed to be here. I was gonna just walk home, but I was scared to walk home that late at night in that area where we live. So I just went to bed. And mind you, this is a long time ago, so I'm just remembering major details, like tiny little things I'm not really remembering, but those aren't the important parts anyway. So anyway, I know I fell asleep fast, and then I woke up because I thought I heard somebody coming into the room. But then I just kind of dozed right back off. And then I wake up again because somebody is grabbing my boob. Somebody is grabbing my boobage. And I like wake up and I smack him, and I'm like, I get out of the bed, I'm screaming, and I'm smacking at the hand and smacking at the person. She was laying in the bed next to me. Neither one of them had pants on. And they were, you know, having sex. And he was an older boy. Remember, he was older. They went to UNF. And he was like grabbing my tit. Like he was trying to get me involved in their little whatever was going on. And I just got up. I was smacking the shit out of him. I called my mom and asked her if her boyfriend at the time could come and get me and walk me home, because we were a walking distance. I was like 14, and I didn't like boys, I didn't like men because of experiences I had earlier in life. And I was smacking the shite out of him too. I was smacking his hand. He was like, oh, okay, you're not into it, and they're both laying on the bed. He's still like doing it with her as I'm jumping out of the bed, smacking at him and screaming. Because at first I thought it was some stranger in the bed, but then when I realized it was my friend and this guy, I felt even worse. And I went into their kitchen and I called my mom and said, can come over? His name was Vinny. He's passed away, but I'm like, can Vinny come and walk me home? You know, and so he came and got me. Very nice man. And he brought me back home. And he asked me what went on, and I didn't want to tell him what happened. But when I got home, I told my mom what happened, because I was pretty pissed. And then it made me realize years later, not then, years later, why didn't I tell her what happened to me when I was 11? That video that's in my videos if you want to see that. I'll try to find it and link it down below. But I told her what happened, and she got up. She got dressed, and she went over there and knocked on that door. She goes, where is your sister? Because, by the way, her adult sister was raising her. And she's been raising her since she was like 8 years old. And she goes, oh, they're out for the night. And she goes, well, I want to talk to her tomorrow. And I don't know what happened with that. I really don't, but that friendship was over. I never wanted to just talk to her again. And when I saw her at school, she would try to talk to me. I'm like, I'm not talking to you. You're lucky I'm not telling everybody what happened. So that was awful. Tell me how you think you would react at 14 years old, you know, especially if you have a history of being inappropriately touched. And it all happened so fast. I really thought it was an intruder at first. But yeah. But anyway, I do think it was wrong that my mom and all her friends called this girl a slut. And the situation did not help that, for sure. But I told her that they said they went to UNF, so my mom knew they were college age. And she had gotten expelled. She eventually, I think like the following year, she ended up getting expelled from school for spreading a rumor that she was having a sexual relationship with one of the teachers. I believe that she was having a sexual relationship with him, because he did end up marrying one of his students a year something for a whole other day too. He was not appropriate either. But yeah, she was a troubled girl. I don't agree with the grown-ups calling her a slut, but you know, the early to mid 80s, that's what you were. You weren't a victim. She was definitely a victim. I mean, do you agree with that she was a victim? Because this college student, he was victimizing her. He did victimize me. He put his hands on me. I don't even know where the other friend was. I guess he was for me or whatever. But yeah, my mom was pissed. Sorry, I'm just stopping at the red light to take some medicine. But yeah, my mom was, and then it wasn't until many, I mean decades and decades later, when I realized, when I told my mom about that, you know, it would have been safe to tell her about what happened to me at my friend's house when I was 11 years old. And again, there is a video about that. It's my my CSA experience. If I can find that video, I'll link it in the description, because I just don't feel like sharing that story again. But yeah. But that's it. I'm gonna go. I'll talk to everyone later. Bye-bye. I wanted to add another note to that. I feel like, so, you know, I told you about my mom, how she was pretty ABUSIVE in a lot of ways, not physically, but in other ways. But she also, I do believe she loved us deeply. And part of me thinks, and I'm just getting like heart palpitations just thinking about this, if I told her what happened to me, you know, when I was 11, she might have ended up going to prison, because she might have killed the person. Because she was so volatile and such an angry woman. Because her anger, she didn't just take it out on her kids. Other people got a good dose of it too. Like, she was mostly nice to people out in the world, but like, they pissed her off, man. She was woofy. She was like 4'11", but she was like a little spitfire though. But anyway. And also, I don't want you to think every moment with my mom was a nightmare. We had some good times too. So, you know, she definitely, when it came right down to it, if we needed protection or something, she was there. So